So here's the thing. I feel like every programming language deserves a library like clap. So this is what claps do. So clap, when you're building a command line thingy, like an application, let's say like Git. So let us dive right in. Let us check the source code here for clap. So you can do use clap. There are two ways of doing clap. So you can do derive or the builder pattern. Personally, I prefer the builder pattern because you get to see the code. You get to see, no, I mean, you get to see the building of your thingy continuing from the start to the end. The other pattern you do with clap is the derive pattern. Okay, so the derive pattern uses this compiler decorators thingy, which I feel like, yeah, this looks like real Rust code, but I feel I don't feel good hiding things behind there. I don't feel good. This doesn't look good to me. Yeah, but yeah, for some reason it depends with your use case. If your use case is more complex, I think derive works for you. But if your case is so simple, yeah, let us write some code. Let us create a command line argument to do some fun stuff. I don't know. We'll just figure it out. Let us create a new Rust project with cargo new my underscore CLI. Then it creates our binary applications. Then let's go to inside my CLI and then open our code editor here. All right. So if we go to our file, we have our hello world. We're building a CLI. So let us set a simple goal to just take arguments, don't do anything with them. So like let's say it just takes name and age and it displays them. That sounds like a good goal, right? All right, so let us do that. Now, if we do cargo run here, we get our hello world, right? Looks good. But now, the old way of doing things is we say let arguments equals args from the standard library. Then we collect, right? Correct. Then let us, yeah, of course, we have to state the type. We're expecting the arguments, so we're expecting vector string. Then for now, let us just do print line, which is of course a debug print. We're gonna print line arguments, the args we've gotten here. All right, so let us go back and run this. The arguments, of course, it's only the first argument is always the CLI, the program running. Then the second argument, let's say, like for example, Stanley, is gonna go to the second. Then let's say something like profession. So, all right. So this is basically how we collect the arguments. So this works correctly. Let's say, for instance, we want to print a message. We want to tell this person something. So we're gonna do print line, say your name is Stanley. No, sorry, I need to pass this. And you work in software. Sorry again, I gotta do this. So we're gonna do, yeah, so we need to get the argument that you expect to be for name and argument that you expect to be for whatever. Uh, for the profession. So that is what our program does. It gets name, profession, then prints out. Very pointless. All right, so there are two ways to do this. So because this one is a vector, we can say let name equals args, not that one, args 1. This is dangerous, but we'll fix it later. Then let profession equals name. Oh, sorry. Args and 2, the second parameter. Yeah, then of course we have to close here the semicolon. We're good. So now we're just gonna print name, then the second parameter is gonna be profession. Good. Our program is good. All right, so it's telling me something. Consider cloning. Yeah, because I need to take ownership. I don't need to take ownership. I need to borrow, right? If I'm not wrong. So that I don't take ownership of args. I just use the value, then return it so that this variable out there still unset, not name, not profession. All right. So let us run a program. Yeah, so second argument, let us put in quotes, software engineering. Your name is Stanley and you work in software engineering. That's good. But now this program is gonna fail spectacularly if you have something like this in production. Let me show you one of the first failures. On line 7 and line 8, we are getting arguments from a vector, but we're not sure if the first element will exist or the second element will exist. So in a language like C, this would definitely access memory from another language, but in a language like Rust, it checks the bounds. So instead of accessing foreign memory, memory region that is not assigned to this particular variable or program, it will just fail. It will just tell you out of bounds. So let us omit the parameters and just do cargo run down here. And you can see it failed. So the thread will panic. So this is memory safe, but it will panic in production and no one else panicking. So to solve for that, we're gonna have to use get. So args dot get. Then we give it the index we want one. This one will return an option. And to make things easy, so we can do unwrap or else this will still panic. So there are several ways. I'm trying to think of the fastest way, but we can just use match here. Match and yeah, this is the laziest way of doing this. Then okay, so let's go here. So it can either be some or none. So if we have a value, let us return the value. Let me just call it name. And if nothing is there, we exit early so that we don't panic in production. So this is, I can call this a validation. So we can do e print line. Name parameter missing, then we exit. Process.exit with code 1. Then we need to put a semicolon here. All right. Also, we need to add a semicolon here. And repeat for the next one. I'm just gonna go ahead and yank this. Then do this here. All right, but this one now we get the second argument and change the error message. Now, this will not panic. This will not panic. And yeah, if you run this again, I don't know why I'm doing that instead of doing this. So this will not panic. It will give us an error, then exit, which is exactly what we want. All right, so our program looks good. We can add validation logic through everything, but in an ideal program, you don't want to do this. You don't want to guess the first parameter to be something. You want to do something like and name, then pass the name, then profession. Yeah. So you already can see a problem. The problem you're going to face here. Profession, then pass the profession. Yeah. That is an ideal program. And yeah, you can see it in the most common CLI program like Git. You do Git, commit, and I don't recommend this. Then you put /m, then you pass in the message. Good. I do not recommend this, but this is just an example to show you what's possible. Like how an ideal CLI program is so that you don't have to remember the order. In an ideal program, you could do profession first, then them first. So for you to do that, you can already see how this is going to be very hard to, to pass. So first of all, you'll have to get the parameter, then ensure the next value after it does not start with /. And I don't want to do that now, but I just want to paint the picture. Now, when you get argument one, let's say it will return here, it will return something like argument one will return name. Then what you want to do is get the value after name. So you'll args.get value after name, then still validate it exists so that you don't run out of bounds and do stuff like that. So the program becomes cumbersome to maintain from the word go, and a simple program turns into a nightmare. So to solve for that, enters clap. All right, so let me just remove this. Then we're gonna have to add clap right now. Let's go here, cargo, add clap. Go back to our editor and do here on the terminal, then do cargo add clap. Then it will install all the dependencies we need for clap. All right, so once our clap net matches equals command.new. All right, so here what we're gonna do is just gonna have to create a variable called matches. Then what we do, we call commander from clap.new. Then we name our app. Let's say like something cool, right? Then of course that's not enough. So yeah, see how easy it is to just create an application. So then we can do things that we expect in CLI, like version. Let's say our app is version 1. Then we can get things like the about. So it is a fully fledged CLI command, CLI application. So we can do about. So get and return. Garbage in, garbage out. Then, of course, now this is why I like the builder pattern. You just do everything in one line, just like the good old OP. All right. So then we can pass arguments. There are two ways to pass arguments. Now this is why now you declare the arguments. Arg, first argument, then do arg.new. this is now when you declare we want the name, then name is required. Inside name, then it is required. True. Okay. Now, then we call then we call oh sorry, we gotta add the next argument. Arg required true. Sorry, we need another extra here. Another arg, then arg new. Then this is now the profession, then required true. Then here we call get arguments. We're done. No, sorry, we call get matches, not get arguments. That's it. We are done with constructing a CLI, and we can get our values from there later. So if I do cargo run, it will first compile because the first time. Then, as you can see here, it has failed. But instead of panicking because I've not passed anything, it tells me I need to pass in the name, then I need to pass in the profession. So if I do pass name Stanley, then I do software, it should compile. Then it also adds cool things like if I do help, it tells me exactly what to do. So I need to pass arguments like name and the profession. Yeah, so that is one way of doing the program the same way we did the old one, we did on the first one without clap. But still, this is not scalable because it forces you to do it in a particular order. So instead of doing arg new, let me just check if that one is also here. Yeah, here you can do like short, like long, and stuff like that. But now there's also another way we can do. We can use the arg macro. Arg macro, and then we pass in the parameter. Call it name. Then I'm not sure why they do this. I'll have to research. Then value, then of course we make it required. Then of course this one is oh yeah, so for this to work I need to include the derive macro under the features. Yeah, all right. So I need to add the derive macro under the features for this kind of argument to work. So let us just go and do that now. Clap version. This is normal. Then we do features. It's an array. Then we need to do derive here so that this can work. Then this can now be required. Sorry. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna do yank the entire line, then put it here, delete this, then do. All right. So here we have profession, and save it. Then delete this word, save it, then come again, run our CLI. Now, this one is now a better way of doing it. Now, where we pass the name and the profession as named parameters. And how this is basically how modern CLIs look like, and this is more helpful. So when I do help, you see get usage, and yeah, the rest goes. Now let us print our values and get done with this video. All right, so for us to get our values, so we're gonna have to say like let name equals matches, not that one, dot get one. Of course, we want to infer the type. We want to type coalesce. We want to convert the type. All right. So just a second. Get one string. We have to get one. The value. This one should be string. String, and we do this. Then the parameter we want is name. Then we're just gonna unwrap. Shouldn't unwrap in production, but here we're just gonna be we're just having fun. So let us do print line, then say your name is. I like doing my things this, and let me just type name here. So unwrap will panic if name is not passed. That's not a good way of doing things, but of course there's validation. Name has to be passed for this thing to pass. Cargo run, it will just tell me I've not passed the correct parameters. Then yeah, profession is also required. So let me just do that now. Then profession, I'll do software engineer, even though we're not printing that exactly now. Wrong spelling. And you can see it gives me a tip for the spelling. Yeah, I typed the parameter wrong here. Sorry, here name. Then on the profession, This is triple S. We're good. Then let us do. Then it says your name is Stanley Masinde, and your profession is profession. Yeah. So I need to also declare, I like declaring variables. I can just matches to get or to wrap, but I like doing this. Fashion equals matches get one. Then before getting, I need to type coalesce. I need it to be a string. I need to remove this. Then I need to get fashion. Then I need to unwrap. Unwrap is a lazy way of handling errors. I do not recommend it in production. You shouldn't be doing that in production. Then after you do that, your name was in there and your profession is a software engineer. What happens when you pass a number? I'm curious. I don't know what would happen. All right, it will convert it into a string, and that's it. So there you have it. So that is how Clap can help you create robust CLIs. It created everything for me without doing the heavy lifting. Like if you do not pass parameters, it will give you an error. The following arguments were not provided, and it gives you the usage information. As you can see from my code, I didn't code that. Then stuff like that. So it tells you how to use it, and it also automatically includes the help flag, and it gives you all the options where you can use -v to print the version, -help, then professional value, blah 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 and stuff. Yeah, that's it. You're good. Yeah, so that is how Clap can help you create CLIs faster. And yeah, I recommend people create CLIs in Rust, but not everyone is writing Rust. So if you want to create CLIs in Node.js is very common. Laravel has also some good features. So while the video is about every language should have something similar to that. So let's do this. So in Node.js, I'm not going to do a demo for that, but I'm just going to go ahead and show it. So there are two actually, but my favorite is called Commander. Commander is a nice way for building CLIs in Node.js. Here it is, Commander.js. I don't know when it was last updated. Yeah, so basically it's almost the same way we do it. So option first, then it will pass, then it will give you the parameters, and you'll be good to go. Then Laravel has their own thingy built on top of Symfony. Then I don't know about other languages, but yeah, these are the languages I use mostly. So if I'm gonna do a CLI in Node.js, which I think is not a good idea because a good CLI is a CLI that you can ship without any other dependencies. So when you ship a Node.js CLI, imagine if Git was written in Node.js. And now for you to run Git, you needed to install Node.js for Git to work, And this is why I recommend just use something like Rust, which will compile to your target platform, and you can run it without any other external dependencies. Thank you for watching, guys. See you on the next.